Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
Hello and welcome to Strictly Speaking.
Language is the essence of our existence. It's what sets us apart from the rest of creation, and it's what unites humanity.
It has changed greatly because social media has influenced the use of English language in terms of writing and speaking.
When you talk about performance, you then talk about your style. When you talk about your style, you start to look at the authentic you.
Whatever field you are in, you are a creative. And when you realize that, you will work better and have better results.
It's the expression of who we are and a suggestion of what we can become. Welcome to Strictly Speaking.
I'm Bimbo Oloyede.
It's all in the air and it's all in my heart. The feeling of anticipation. Let the songs and cheering out everywhere in celebration.
Some go there fry chin, some go there fry meat, some go there cook jollof. Me, I go shop potato with decorations everywhere, making it very
compliments of the season, a very Merry Christmas and a most glorious New Year from all of us in NTA.
The 157-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first double-track standard gauge railway to be built in West Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson train station is a masterpiece, an infrastructure that is gradually becoming an iconic building in Lagos State. The modern facilities put the station on a world map of train stations. Likewise, other new train stations across the country built to world-class standards. The train and its convenience is indeed an admirable effort, with commendations from Nigerians.
This is a station that we have to commend the federal government for putting a beautiful face, empowering us in Lagos State, not only in economic and political arena.
I can say that I'm really impressed with the infrastructures in place. Kudos to the Minister of Transportations. Kudos to the federal government.
Truly, good things are coming out of Nigeria, and the federal government is deserving of all the applause.
Christmas Day celebration, an annual festivity commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ by Christians worldwide, is only hours away. Being a festivity that comes once in every year, Christians anxiously look forward to celebrating the day with far-reaching preparations, bearing in mind the need for moderation as well as exercising caution against COVID-19 while celebrating. Already, Christians in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, are in festive mood ahead of the religious fiesta with preparations in top gear at shopping malls, livestock markets and poultry sales spots, among other places, despite the daunting economic situation. How should Christmas be celebrated, and what key lessons is a Christian expected to imbibe as exemplified by Jesus Christ? This is our focus on Panorama this afternoon from the studios of NTA Maiduguri Network Center. I am Abubakar Muhammad Musa. Let's begin with security matters. Troops of Operation Hadinkai in the Northeast Theater of Operations have been tasked to remain focused and steadfast as they go into the final phase of the campaign against terrorism and other acts of criminality undermining national security and stability. President Muhammadu Buhari, who addressed the troops at Maiduguri International Airport, insists that the nation's strategic end state of defeating all adversaries must be achieved and the economic viability of the Northeast restored. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the report.
I am here on behalf of a grateful nation to thank and commend you for your service and sacrifices.
Without doubt, in the last 6 years, the sad reality inherited in the security situation here is tempered by the progress made in the fight against terrorism and insurgency. The recent mass surrender of terrorists to the armed forces, the resettlement of 18 towns by the Borno state government since 2019, as well as increased access to farmlands and businesses in places like Banki and other key areas are evidence of the significant strides achieved in the middle of the devastation.
You have displayed extraordinary resilience and steadfastness in the face of adversity. That is the spirit, tenacity, and resolve that the Nigerian Armed Forces is known for. As your Commander-in-Chief, I am mindful of your selfless sacrifices, which in some cases have entailed paying the supreme price. The nation owes you a debt of gratitude for your commitment, dedication, and unalloyed loyalty to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
President Muhammadu Buhari said although the country is still faced with several security challenges largely characterized by violent activities of non-state actors, public confidence will continue to rise with further optimization in the gains for national security.
I am aware that you have started receiving some of the platforms procured by our administration, while you would be receiving some in the weeks ahead. Similar attention is being given to intelligence surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance assets to project force across the theater and bring the fight to a logical and successful end.
And as efforts by the military are continuously stepped up, the president said his administration will continue to work with all well-meaning stakeholders, including friendly nations, civil society organizations, as well as other credible non-governmental organizations to bring peace to all troubled areas across the nation.
I particularly commend His Excellency Babagana Umar Zulum for his untiring commitment and cherished collaboration with the administration for the overall good of the people of Borno. Yours is a good example of the inherent benefits that are accruable from conscious positive interaction between the federal and government of the state.
For the armed forces of Nigeria, unalloyed loyalty and commitment to the nation remain their watchwords. From Maiduguri, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And still on the president's visit to Maiduguri last Thursday, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to ensure that in the last lap of his administration, every day counts in the delivery of public good. The president stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to the Sheikh of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbay Al-Amin El-Kanemi, as part of his official engagements in Borno State. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo again reports on this and the landmark projects inaugurated during the visit.
This is the second time in 6 months President Muhammadu Buhari will be visiting Borno State out of constant worry over the difficulty suffered by the people due to terrorism and insurgency. It is, however, fulfilling to the president that the efforts at disrupting and destroying critical infrastructural facilities by the criminal elements have come to naught with the pragmatic execution of people-centered projects relentlessly by the government and well-meaning indigents of the state. And before meeting the paramount ruler of the Kanuris, the Sheikh of Borno, the Nigerian leader delightedly unveiled a 3.5-kilometer multi-layer flyover, first in the history of the state, as well as a 10-kilometer Maiduguri-Muna dual carriageway executed by the Zulum administration to ease traffic congestion along the customs roundabout. Another state government project inaugurated by the president is the Tijani Bolori Memorial Day Secondary School, one of the world-class mega schools built to address the challenges of out-of-school children in the state. And at the University of Maiduguri, President Buhari inaugurated a 2.5 billion naira state-of-the-art Center for Distance Learning, as well as an international conference center donated to the institution by Alhaji Muhammadu Indimi.
I believe that the center will help the university in the way it delivers learning, training, and skills, as well as to those who will be taking their courses remotely.
Alhaji Ndimi proved without the slightest doubt that his love for Borno is beyond limits. As part of our gratitude, we have approved the renaming of the popular Damboa Road to become Muhammadu Indimi Road here in Maiduguri.
For President Muhammadu Buhari, supporting Borno State to recover from the ravages of insurgency is a shared obligation.
I assure the governor of Borno State and people of the Northeast that I'm acutely aware of our successes here and our failures elsewhere, especially in my own geopolitical zone, the Northwest, where it is the same people, the same culture, stealing each other's property, killing each other. What for? I have ordered and have started receiving military hardware from the United States, from aircrafts, helicopters, armored cars, and we are going to be very, very hard on them.
President Buhari, who also inaugurated the Oriental Energy Resources Limited aircraft hangar built by Alhaji Muhammadu Indimi at Maiduguri International Airport, had told the Sheikh of Borno that none but the most partisan can deny the fact that so much have been achieved by his administration with so little, in critical sectors of the nation's economy.
When I promise, I try to stand by my promise. I assure you that for the time remaining for us, the 17 very odd months, we will keep on doing our best to make sure, especially the infrastructure, is rehabilitated and built. What this country needs is really the continuous cooperation of the elite.
Both the governor of the state, Babagana Umara Zulum, and the Shehu of Borno had earlier appreciated the president for his unprecedented support and assistance to Borno state in the battle against insurgency, as well as restoring the hope of the hopeless.
Your Excellency, I'm pleased to bring to your kind notice that people of Borno state have started witnessing gradual return of peace to Borno and indeed to the entire northeast sub-region. And that has made it possible for our farmers to cultivate their lands this year.
And we must sincerely appreciate and commend your administration for the effort so far made toward bringing lasting peace to Borno and the northeast sub-region.
President Buhari has since returned to Abuja.
From Nigeria's president visit to Maiduguri now to look at other issues on Panorama. The Federal Executive Council has approved 16 memos in an extraordinary meeting held last Thursday. All the 16 memos approved were presented by the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, geared towards strengthening the capacity of power generation and transmission in the country. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir has more details.
Ordinary Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the Vice President, Professor Emi Oshimbajo, approved all the 16 memos presented by the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu. Briefing State House correspondents at the end of the meeting, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said the meeting was to ensure the Council begins a clean slate in year 2022.
So we had quite a lot on our plate today, but the Ministry of Power in particular took center stage, presenting an unprecedented number of memos, I think about 16.
One of the 16 memos approved include the construction of 2x60 MVA 132-33 kV substation at Ikare, Akoko, and 2x132 kV lines bear extension at Oke Agbe in Ondo State, amounting to over 2 billion naira. The minister added that FEC also approved the supply of 65 Hilux and 20 SUV vehicles nationwide at the cost of over 2 billion naira. This is in addition to the procurement of 1,500 drums of Transformer 001 nationwide at the cost of over 320 million naira. FEC also approved the construction and installation of 142 kV double-circuit transmission line in Ekere, Ijesha, Isu, Elukbeju, Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State at the cost of over 8 billion naira.
We need to put more investment into the transmission so that we can improve the wheeling capacity of the TCN to be able to take up enough electricity from the generation.
Also approved was the construction of new national control centers at Oshogbo Lot 1 and Gwagwalada Lot 2 of the FCT, and the construction of 2x60 MVA substation at Shaki and the extension at Ishei in Oyo State, as well as at Malumpashi Kankara extension in Kaduna State, and the additional work of 33 kV double-circuit transmission line project from Kaduna Power Plant to Mondo Substation.
Construction, design, manufacture, supply, installation, and commissioning of transmission lines 330, 132, and 33 kV at Lekki in Lagos State. The repairs of 100 MVA 330 at 132 kV power transformer at Ueli, Delta State, two component, 416,100 US dollar.
With the projects consuming over 28 billion naira, the minister added, are geared towards enhancing the capacity of the transmission and distribution of electricity in the country. From the State House, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
You're on to Panorama on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Let's take a break now. More stories for you shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
We're glad to have you back on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri. Let's move on now. The newly appointed minister from Taraba, Muazu Jaji Sambo, has been sworn in to fill existing vacancy in the Federal Executive Council. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo once again reports.
I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Born 62 years ago in Jalingo, Taraba State, Muazu Jaji Sambo is a building graduate from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He is a corporate member of the Nigerian Institute of Building, Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Institute of Management. Described in his citation as a grassroots mobilizer, the new minister worked as senior civil engineer with the Nigerian Post Authority, served in various management positions in banking and insurance industries, and retired in 2019 as general manager, National Inland Waterways Authority, Lagos Zonal Office.
Congratulations, Honorable Minister. Posted to Ministry of Works and Housing.
The new Minister of State for Works and Housing, Muazu Jaji Sambo, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for what he called the heavy sense of responsibility placed on him and promised to live above board in the discharge of his mandate.
I want to assure Mr. President that the confidence he has reposed in me will not be misplaced. I'll assure Nigerians that I shall carry out my duties as Minister of the Government of the Federation in accordance with the oath of office that has just been administered on me, and that I will help Mr. President to propel this country forward.
So what will Nigerians expect from you as Minister of State for Works?
Nigerians will expect a very hard-working slave driver.
Muazu Jaji Sambo replaces Salim Mamman, sacked by President Muhammadu Buhari as Minister of Power on the 1st of September 2020. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Preparations for this year's Christmas are in top gear in the capital city of Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, as Christians make last-minute purchase of items for the festivity, which is barely hours away. Jadwa John Jesney completes the story.
One predominant activity during the Yuletide is the increased rate of travel by people to celebrate Christmas with their loved ones. The story is no different here in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, as large number of buses dispatched to convey commuters to various parts of the country. The hustle and bustle in the socio-economic environment had also increased as residents engaged in last-minute preparations, which include buying and selling of livestock and chicken, hairdressing, sewing and purchase of clothing, as well as increased buying of fuel at filling stations, among others, as part of general preparation for Christmas celebration. Some traders and residents who spoke to NTA News lamented over the significant increase in price of general goods and advised that one should celebrate according to his or her financial capacity.
Ba kwastomomi, gashi maza ka zo na har safe ka yi kiso ɗaya ko biyu ka tafi.
For we here, the customers are so scarce.
It's outrageous. Like everything is just getting worse every day. So you have to do what you have to do. Like follow your budget to buy what you want. But no matter what you are buying,
people should cut their coat according to their size. Buy what you think you can afford, and then you leave the rest. We can't kill ourselves now, and we need to celebrate Christmas as usual.
The customers, they need to eat food. They need to eat good food. There's no money. It's not as if our salaries have increased.
They added that with the new Omicron coronavirus variant, roaming the streets of cities and villages is not advisable, and therefore expressed the need for continuous adherence to the COVID-19 protocol.
Whenever you're coming to a public place like this, you should always put on your mask.
It's really deadly, so we really have to protect ourselves and our loved ones.
Yes, it is Christmas, celebration of birth of Jesus Christ, Savior of the world. But the need for moderation in spending is of great essence, and caution against COVID-19. Always use your face mask. In Maiduguri, Jadwa, John Jesse, NTA News.
Thank you indeed, Jadwa. Now, the peculiarity of Borno State being an epicenter of Boko Haram insurgency, which is in the process of recovery with relative peace now being enjoyed, makes its socio-economic activities a little harsh than obtainable in other parts of the world, thereby making commodities, particularly food items, more expensive than the usual. During festivities such as this, the demand for food items are usually high, as people make purchases of a variety of items to celebrate the day. Despite the economic challenges, Christian community in Borno State is in high spirit, making preparations ahead of the day. In our studio to discuss Christmas in the face of economic challenge is the Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, Borno State, Pastor in charge of EYN Church, Wulari Maiduguri, Reverend Joseph Kwaha. Pastor, it's a pleasure to have you join us on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's begin this way. What is Christmas?
Christmas is a festival celebrated to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ. He's coming into the world to save mankind from their sins. And Christmas also is a period full of peace and joy in the entire Christendom. And we celebrate Christmas in three folds. We celebrate Christmas as a family, and we celebrate Christmas as a church, and we celebrate Christmas as a community.
All right. Okay, Pastor, what key lessons of Christmas is a Christian expected to imbibe as exemplified by Jesus Christ?
The key lessons that Christians are expected to imbibe in this period is love, humility, and sharing, thankfulness, and also relating and tolerating one another.
All right, I wish we could continue talking, Pastor, but it appears time is not on our side. At this point in time, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for being part of Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
That was the Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, Borno State, Pastor in charge of EYN Church, Wulari Maiduguri, Reverend Joseph Kwaha. Thank you once again for being part of Panorama.
Thank you.
Let's now join our sports desk for the latest in the sports world.
Nigeria Super Eagles ended 2021 in 36th position in the latest FIFA World Rankings released on Thursday. In Africa, Nigeria occupy 5th place as their 2021 AFCON Group D opponents, Pharaohs of Egypt, did not change position, also as they are in 45th place and 6th on the continent. In a related development, President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Joe Pennick, has confirmed that 3 top foreign coaches have been interviewed for the role of Super Eagles manager. They are Jose Mourinho, Jose Peseiro, and Mladen Krastajic.
I will look at the antecedent on discipline and esteem. And 2, we also look at hunger. How hungry is he to win trophies?
In volleyball, organizers of the 2022 International Volleyball Federation World Championship in Russia have confirmed the venues in 10 host cities set to take place in August and September 2022. Moscow's VTB Arena is one of them, while St. Petersburg has 2 venues, with the Ice Palace and Silver Arena also to host the volleyball players. With Sports Update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
Amanzi, and that's it on Panorama this afternoon from the studios of NTA Maiduguri Network Center. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you out there in advance.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
We want to talk about rights, there are obligations. I'm not saying that this government is a saint, very far from it. But there are things that we can do to make it better, and that's the challenge I'm throwing to you. You don't want to build this nation? I don't know where else you want to go. If I had a choice, I'll come back. When I stand outside and I hear what you have to say about this country that I know that I can die for as one, then I'm really sad because you're young. You have education. You have tools. You have a huge future ahead of you. And you're condemning yourself before you started on that journey. So please don't do that. Please don't.
Hello, and welcome to Strictly Speaking. Language is the essence of our existence. It's what sets us apart from the rest of creation, and it's what unites humanity.
It has changed greatly because social media has influenced the use of English language in terms of writing and speaking.
When you talk about performance, you then talk about your style. When you talk about your style, you start to look at the authentic you.
Whatever field you are in, you are a creative. And when you realize that, you will work better and have better results.
It's the expression of who we are and a suggestion of what we can become. Welcome to Strictly Speaking. I'm Bimbo Oloyede.
The ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, the construction of a 1.6-kilometer-long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger Bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Sheer adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you, service in Holy Rosa is evening. We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. Umuahia, the capital city of Abia State, is rooted in history. The history of the evolution of Nigeria as an independent state. It also is a symbol of the imperative of peace and peace building in a country where by the day, groups continue to emerge, raising their voice levels on war and separation. Somehow, Ahia answered them by keeping a record of history. In Ahia, there exists a National War Museum that keeps alive the images and the storylines of the Nigerian Civil War of 1967 to 70. There, mercifully, I kept realistic and original pictorials of that internecine war, whose wounds are still to be fully healed on the nation. The museum is a triumph of vision and exceptional archiving.
You see, the idea of having National War Museum was mooted by T.Y. Danjuma in the year 1977. After his official visit to Yugoslavia. When he came back to Nigeria, he presented the idea to the Army Ruling Council. An approval was given to it. Umuahia was chosen as a place where the war museum will be located because of the two well-preserved bunkers that was used during the Civil War in Nigeria. The Voice of Biafra bunker and the Ojukwu bunker.
They are all here?
Yeah, yes, the Voice of Biafra bunker is inside these premises. That was the bunker where Ojukwu and a man called Okokondem stays and tell the public how the war was going on. You see the funny thing during the Civil War, why they be here broadcasting? They be telling the public that are broadcasting from Enugu. Nigerians continue bombing Enugu. They don't know that they were here in Umuahia. Yes.
That's rules.
And this Okokonde speaks English, he speaks Igbo, he speaks Hausa, he speaks Yoruba. Ojukwu bunker was constructed when Enugu failed, because Enugu was the first capital of Biafran government. When Enugu failed, Biafrans moved their state capital to Umuahia.
Okay.
Then, when Umuahia became the Biafra state capital, Nigeria started bombing Umuahia.
Although the museum keeps custody of war materials, it is not under the care of the Nigerian military. It is under the National Commission for Museum and Monuments. Basically, it is a place of history, a recollection of the Nigerian war years, and the necessity of not fighting any more war. National Museum is built to be a center of peace and unity of Nigeria.
some hearing the name War Museum, people may think it's all about war. No, but rather for us to learn from the history of the war, the history of Nigerian Civil War. And from there, we learn our lesson. In fact, this museum now has become more useful presently, considering what Nigeria is facing now. The problem of insecurity, the needs for Nigerians to come together. We are one. North, west, east, south. We are all one. And our forefathers who conceived the idea of Nigeria, they didn't make mistake. And we should continue in that form. And we are using our museum to teach, to preach peace, to let people know that we should live peacefully.
The museum gives insight on how necessity gives birth to ingenious technology that plays a significant role during the Biafra War. Somehow, the country's technological brainwork falters when there was no more war to be fought.
Nigerians were able, they are refining crude oil on their own. So if they can have that initiative to do that, you go over to that place, you see the refinery crudes, they use in producing crude oil, drum developed by the Biafran soldiers, Biafrans. You see the Obinigwe, they were able to develop. Flying Obinigwe.
So we really have ingenuity at that period, yes, because there was a necessity.
Yes, because they say necessity is the mother of invention. So if, for example, Nigeria have continued in that line, by now, Nigeria would have been more advanced than Japan.
The museum houses two famous wartime bunkers from the Civil War years. It has a gallery as well and an outside exhibition. It was opened to the public in 19 January 1985 by Major General Tunde Idiagbon. The outside exhibition is majorly of military hardwares that were actually used during the Civil War. There is an army section, an air force section, and a naval section. At the army section, conspicuous are armored cars from the war years. They came in 3 phases. There are the Time A's. And as the war progresses, more advancement in technology were made. The armored tanks were upgraded to Type B's and Type C's. They are all locally fabricated.
You see, at the initial stages of the war, Biafrans were fighting with ordinary stick, then guns. And Nigerians were facing them with sophisticated weapons. They formed what we call RAP, RAP, meaning research and production unit of Biafrans. It's a unit made up of engineers, craftsmen, researchers. Their work is to fabricate war weapons. So these are the first armored cars they fabricated. These are the Type A's. Soldiers shoot through the windows of these armored cars. When this one shoot, the other one shoot, the other one shoot. Nigeria think that are shooting at 360 degrees. Now, later on, there was an improvement. This is Type B.
Okay, the later development.
So far here we have the Radio Biafra. They carry this one along wherever they're going.
Okay, so this is
Radio Biafra for internal service.
For internal service.
Yes, the one inside is for external. Telling the whole world
what is happening.
What is happening. That's the one Okokondem was using.
It is instructive to know that all armored cars made by Biafrans are called Red Devils, apparently because of their capacity for destruction. In all the military hardwares, they made sure to maintain the logo of the Biafran army, the Red Devils as it were. Away from the armored vehicles are an exhibition of war tanks, many with a bit of history. Well, we are continuing our inspection. So far, we have been showing what the Biafrans have been able to fabricate at that time. But this one belongs to the Nigerian government, or belongs to the Nigerian soldiers. It has been taken away in the field of battle by the Biafran soldiers. And it is today here on exhibition, madam?
Yes,
okay.
It's called Panhard Armored Vehicle, French make. And it was used by Nigerians. Then at the Battle of Ugota, which is in Imo State, it was captured by Biafrans. When Biafrans captured it from Nigerians, they nicknamed it Ugota Boy and started using it against Nigeria. Then at the Battle of Uzakwali, which is here in Abuja State, it was recaptured by the federal troops.
Okay, so they collect their things
yes,
back.
Yes, bring it back.
Okay, but why is it here now? How did you get it back here now?
Yes, you see, after the war, some of them, all of them were abandoned where they
where the war happened,
yes.
where the war took place.
And some of them were taken to military zones, and when this museum was about to set up, informations were given out. So some of them were retrieved from Umudike, some of them were retrieved from Obakala, Maya. Okay. Then we retrieved them to this place.
So you retrieve your boy?
Yes.
If there was any weapon that leaves behind echoing memory of its capacity for tragedy during the Nigerian Civil War, it was definitely the Egbunibe, the celebrated mass killer. If there was anything the Igbos or the Biafran soldiers were known for or were popular for during that civil war of 1967 to 1970, it was in the Egbunibe, or the mass killer. I'm not Igbo too much to be able to pronounce it very well, but it is in that weapon that has been a horror, to virtually everybody who had it or who had the misfortune of going through it. Well, it looks simple enough to the eye, and this is it. This is a picture of it. The real Egbologbe, the way the time it was. The time it is. And still it's here, so at the museum. Madam, how do you properly call this one?
It's called Ogbunigwe.
Okay.
That's mass killer.
All right.
Mass killer. It kills in millions. It doesn't kill only one person. Yes.
And it was fabricated.
You can destroy yes. It was made by Biafran engineers. You see? That's one of the mines they fabricated. This one here is called flying Ogbunigwe. That's the flying type. Okay. They fabricated different types. They have the Ojuku bucket. It's also a Ogbunigwe.
Okay.
This one is called flying Ogbunigwe.
What does it do differently?
You see, all the explosive, broken bottles, nails, gunpowder, we pack inside this barrel. Okay. See the mounted one. See? Okay. They will place it here. They will place this in here. Okay. It has a negative and positive wire. The operator stays very far away.
So it doesn't stay close?
No, because of this thing can break. And it may kill the person. Oh, the hitting of this spring determines the content goes out, leaving this barrel behind.
Okay.
It's only the content that goes out.
Okay.
When it reaches its destination, it will dig a hole, uproot trees, kill human beings within that area.
It can travel how many?
Depending the position of the enemy.
Okay, but what distance can it cover?
It can cover about maybe 20 kilometers.
That distant?
Yes, or more than that.
The Air Force section is picturesque and awe-inspiring. It looks like an Air Force hangar, but every bit of this fighter aircraft have a story of how it influenced the Biafra War. There is the story in particular of the so-called small bomber aircraft. The small in it is a big question mark.
Yes, it was used by Biafrans. You see, that was the plane that nearly changed the course of the war in favor of Biafra, because it has advantage over this big illusion. Small in size, noiseless while on operation. It can hide under a tree, and it carries only 2 crew.
This one?
Yes, this one.
This small one?
This is one, yes.
Okay, this is a small...
Yes, Biafrans call it Biafran baby.
Okay, the Biafran baby.
Nigerians call it Biafran mosquito.
Again, all the aircrafts here have seen war at different theaters in the Nigerian Civil War. They are from either side of the war divide. From the Air Force section, I quote the giant presence of this warship. It looks like it is steadying for the sea. I'm afraid it is not. It is actually a Nigerian naval ship that ran into a war turbulence and had to be in Umuahia in pieces. Its story is a unique one. At the National War Museum in Umuahia is this giant naval ship. It is actually a Nigerian naval ship that had seen battle around the Boni area during that period of the Nigerian Civil War. Well, it was actually capsized by the Biafran shore battery during the war. But then what we are actually trying to say is that this ship came to the museum in 3 pieces. It is recouped here. But it just gives you a picture of the hardware and the software that had been used during that war. And it is just a reminder of how not to fight war, and that we better remain together, live in peace, and use our ingenuity and technology for the promotion of our own humanity and for the livelihood and dignity of our people, rather than war.
Okay. This is an anti-aircraft gun, normally back. This is back of the ship.
Okay.
We also have it at the front of the ship. Assuming any aircraft is coming from any angle, they will use this anti-aircraft gun to shoot it down.
And this is the gun that was used at that time?
Yes.
Well, this is a real gun, original gun of the ship?
That's original.
We took a journey of the inside of the ship just to discover what is inside it. Okay, go ahead. Well, I should have to say others go before I do. Let me be sure.
This anti-submarine gun come along with this ship. It was used by Nigeria.
So it's part of the ship. It's what
Yes.
is an organic part of the ship.
Yes, it goes with this.
Oh. Well, that
This
is.
anti-aircraft gun.
And the other guns.
So are the,
Yes, obviously. And these guns, they all came with the ship.
yes, they come along the ship.
Okay. Oh, this is awesome. No? And obviously, it's better not to fight wars.
No, it's not.
The education is too many or too much. I don't know how to put it. But then we are going to an interesting place, the bunker. The bunker is a place where a lot of things were happening underground during that Biafran civil war, where Ojukwu and his captors were staying for the state matters, where the radio was operating, and where a lot of activities of state were happening. And it was happening during, or in Umahia, where was the second capital of the Biafran government after the capture of Enugu. We took the stairs down the Radio Biafra bunker. It was tiled now and adorned with rich pictorials on either side of the wall, capturing the major players in that hapless war. Our movement echoes, and the museum officials could not say the depths of the bunker from the top down, but behold the historic official propaganda organ of the Biafran government. This is the remains of the Radio Biafra transmitter, the one that is especially transmitting to the outside world. It is the propaganda organ of the Biafran government. It has been transmitted under a bunker, and it is still under the bunker. You can see it here, dead, but then alive still, because its carcass are still here, and we are reflecting on it now. I haven't made a name as a broadcaster or an announcer, but obviously this is the original announcement desk of Radio Biafra. This is where most of the broadcast is going on through. This is the background, this is the table, this is the announcer's table, and this is the seat. Original from that period between 1967 to 1970. It is still maintained, it is still preserved. Apparently, the remains of the war, but how beautiful to keep a record of history. From the Radio Biafra bunker, we transited to the Ojukwu bunker, some distance from the location of the museum. At the entrance, I took on the museum's curator, Evelyn Ihioma Osuagu.
We are still in the business of collecting.
But are you getting new collections? Are you having new?
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay.
We do. You know, we have various means of collecting.
Okay.
People come, they donate to us. We can also buy. We can also carry our fields work to get our collections.
Okay.
People also bequeath to us. So we have different methods of collecting, but we don't collect everything.
Okay.
We collect things that have value. when we talk of something that have aesthetic value, cultural value, historical value, scientific value, these are some of the things we collect.
Okay, so but how closely do you work with the Nigerian military? Because it's a war museum. How do you relate with them?
Very, very cordial. They have been trying. The Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, and that of Air Force, Nigerian Air Force, they have been supporting us in the War Museum. But this area is called National War Museum Annex.
Okay.
It's like this place, will I say, is abandoned, kind of. Okay. You know, not more attention.
It doesn't see so much of attention.
Yes, the attention given to this area is very, very small.
Compared to what
compared to the.
And this one is very significant too.
Very, very, because this is the government's Biafran State House.
Like the Asho Rock of Biafra?
Of Biafra, yes, is this place.
Okay.
So, and you can see Chief Michael, Dr. Michael Lokbara, the premier of Eastern Nigeria, and who also donated this. This is his house.
Unless for someone with a discerning eye, no one would ever hazard a bunker here. In truth, there is, and it is a work of art.
Along the tunnel. Okay. As we are told earlier, the bunker is 26.9 feet deep.
Okay.
And it was built within 3 months by Biafran engineers, led by Joel Okechukwu Onyemelukwe in 1968.
1968.
Yeah.
Okay.
While the war was going on.
While the war was going on, okay.
You can also hear the echo sound. The echo sound,
yes,
which signifies the inbuilt security.
Okay.
And when they are inside here, when you touch the door outside, it passes the information down to them that someone wants to come in.
Okay, so the echo has an impact on the people.
Yes.
That means anybody touching the place, you hear the echo.
Yes.
There is a breach of security.
Yes.
The bunker is a complete house with a conference room, bedrooms, kitchen, and toilets. This is where all issues of state during the war was administered.
So this is the escape route where they do escape through in case of emergency. But then there were never an emergency because people never knew there was a bunker here until after the war when it was made open to the public. And we have 2 escape routes here. One is at the end of the cell there, which we are going to see now. So this cell, passage-like cell, where they keep their war victims, their war captives, their war defaulters. So we'll pass through the cell before you now escape. And at times when you go escape through here to outside, they think he disappears because they never know there is another way out. And then outside was covered with thick forest.
Although there was no history of escape through this route during the Biafra War, I tried my escape through it. It requires nerve. Well, you cannot see the ingenuity of the Biafran soldiers or the Biafran army until probably when you are pursuing this escape route. It can be tedious and dangerous because any slip, you may be cascading into hell. Well, it didn't happen to me. But then, like I've always said that fighting a war is a much more difficult business than peace. So it is either we look for peace than for war. I'm coming down. Well? In all, it is such a worthwhile journey and a lesson for now and for the future.
Better to maintain peace than war. We've seen the effect of war on our people, the Igbo nation, the Nigerian nation at large, and we've seen the effect, and we've seen what peace, relatively what we are enjoying today. And for me, it's better we come together, put our eggs in one basket, think positive, and move better for our sake and for the sake of Nigeria, instead of clamoring for war, war, war.
Ultimately, the pictures of rejoicing soldiers and civilians when the war was called up was a testimony of the evil of war. Indeed, the National War Museum in Umuahia tells us only one story. We have to imbibe the lessons history teaches.
Lights, camera, action. Pictures are created in accordance with the creative vision of the photographer. The ability of a photographer to express perceptions and emotions in order to convey an impression connotes the art of photography. Most photographic works show aesthetic qualities. Some create an illusion, while some abstract photos may paint a deeper meaning from the ordinary. All this depicts the creativity of this artistry. In the early decades of the 19th century, photography captured more detail and information than the traditional methods of replication, like painting and sculpture. Today, photography still remains a unique art form that demands creative thinking from the photographer. We all love taking pictures, but there's a whole lot that goes into making our pictures look flawless. In this artistry, every detail counts.
I'd usually like to start with one light and then improve my lighting style up to the point when I get the kind of picture I want to shoot. So I'll start with this. This is always called the main light, and I'm going to start the main light on camera right. Okay, fine. So the next thing I need to do now is to position her. I like to sit down, look towards this light. You can put 1 foot up, 1 foot down, make yourself relax. Come to the edge of the stool. Good. Fine. Are you relaxed enough? All right, so just smile, and let's see how this goes. Fantastic. So with every shot I take, I begin to readjust my camera till I achieve what I want to see. So right now, there's too much lighting coming on her face, so I'm going to have to work on my lighting style and try it again. And, well, it looks much better this time around. This is one light setup, and when I took the first light, there was so much light, I had to adjust my settings, and she looks more like this now.
New technological trends in digital photography have opened a new direction in full-spectrum photography, where careful filtering choices across the ultraviolet lead to new artistic visions. This art entails careful staging and lighting of the picture.
I'm going to make it very simple, so I'm going to just add one more light, and then I'm done. This light I'm adding is called a hair light or a rim light. It allows the picture to have a form. And so I can see her in a beautiful place. Beautiful. You see the picture has changed again. You notice there's a rim light now that has created a form. When you look at the first one, it was bare. And the second one has some form of rim between it. And then from here, we go into post-production and print. This is the picture, and it comes in two formats. It comes as a JPEG, which is a camera processed option, and it comes as a RAW version, which is the original version with the camera shot the picture. So I'm going to edit this in RAW right now. So I start with this. Good, so the picture is out now, and I start to work on it. Luckily, she has a very fresh face, which is an advantage. So I may not do as much. I just have to work on the colors of her dress, her lips, make her hair look beautiful. I'm going to paint her up in lights and shadows now. I'm putting a bit of darkness to her face.
The stages of photograph has evolved over the years. In amateur processing, the film is removed from the camera and wound onto a reel in a dark room. But technology has taken a new dimension in this artistry.
Technology has overtaken all of that now. Makes it easier for a lot of people, makes it more accessible for a lot of people. Back in the days, they had a few labs that did darkroom
clean washing as it was known in the day. But today we have a download, edit, upload, and print. Very, very quick. And then you can see how far we have gone in the last few minutes. So this is the original picture. And then this is the Photoshop picture. The colors have changed. She had a red look initially. Now it's looking more like her skin tone. The dress is bluer, which is making more. And then you see her hairline. I've defined her hairline more. And then you see these little imperfections we had initially have been removed to give us a, so to speak, final finish. We're good to print. I'm viewing the image right now, and I'm going to send to this little printer here, which does my emergency prints. Beautiful, and she's ready to go.
After so much skill and time spent, the end result is indeed worth it. Or what do you think?
It's a lovely day for me anytime sitting here and having conversations. And of course, the program is Conversations on NTA. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm going to be enjoying my conversations today because it's something that affects every single one of us. Yes, a lot of people are complaining, this is going up, things are not available, food scarcity and all of that. But every day I try to take a tour of the market. I expect that I won't see a lot of people around the weave-on areas, around the cloth areas, around the shoe areas, and probably concentrate on the wet areas, that's the food markets. Incidentally, all of the sections of the market, including the gold, is still very much, busy with human beings. There's always buying and shopping. I try to even check online. There's always buying and shopping. Now, are all these things our needs or our wants? What do we do when there is scarcity to ensure that we get to plan well and get to save for the family? Like I said, my name is Elizabeth, and Conversations is not just for me. I have lovely ladies in the house, and I have my firebrand sister, yes, Joy.
Good morning. It's good to be with you people today. So we're going to have fun.
Yes, as usual. And I have a young lady, because somebody tells me that no matter what we do, the young people are always asking and asking and asking. You get to tell us if it's true or not, but let's get to know you first.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Abo. I'm a student of University of Abuja.
Okay. And our friend who is just joining us for the first time?
Yeah, my name is Patience Key. I'm excited to be here today.
Okay. Patience is joining us, today live. The other time you were with us on Zoom when you were in Maryland. So you're in Nigeria, your homeland. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we'll quickly take a break and bring you an exciting package courtesy of Funke and Onyechere Ada Onobu. That's it.
Whenever we have the time, Nigerians love to party. We love to dance, we love to eat, and we especially love to dress up. If there's ever an excuse for it, we'll find the opportunity to wear ashwebi. However, the problem is that these clothes can be very expensive. Some people run around looking for money just to afford these clothes. But no matter, let's hit the streets and talk to the average Nigerian about the cost of ashwebi today.
Well, I can spend from 2,000, it depends. I have spent 50,000 naira for an ashwebi before. Okay. Yeah, maybe from 2,000 to, it depends on my pocket. Yeah, if it was just, maybe an outsider or a friend. I didn't attend my brother's wedding the last time because I didn't have ashwebi and my friends had it. So I just choose to stay back.
My wife is my pride, so automatically I can spend as much as she makes me happy. I can spend whatever thing I can spend to make her give her the best of life. I can spend 1 million, I can spend 10 million naira now.
It depends on who I'm spending the money for. Like, it depends on if the person is my close friend, I can spend to an extent for that person. But if the person is not my close friend, like, I don't think I can spend anything. I just pass. Like, if I don't have my money at that point, I'll slay on my own and come for the party.
I think 200,000 will be enough to spend, and some other things that follows Ashebi.
Oh, I'm not the Ashebi type, but I think 50,000 it's okay for Ashebi. I'll look for an option. I won't cancel the event.
I can spend up to 50K if I have. I'll check my clothing. See if I don't have any clothes that is beautiful, that can compete with what they have. Yeah. And then I'll just leave it. I won't go for the... I'll call the bride and tell the bride that I can't make it.
The highest amount, 10,000 naira. I look for something close to the Ashebi in color and wear.
Well, we've heard from the average Nigerian on this matter. Let's go back to our studio audience and see what they have to say on this particular topic.
Joy, please, did you see what I saw? I'm not even sure how to... Did you saw what I saw? It's crazy. How can a student be talking about 50,000? You know, as I was saying, I was like, okay, 50,000, I can buy electric bill, I can buy fuel, I can... You're laughing. How much do you spend on Ashebi, Chelsea?
I don't spend money on Ashebi.
That's a lot of money for an environment that we say, you know, there's poverty, there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of, you know, increase in unemployment, and the student wants to spend 50,000 naira. You know, that's a lot of, you know.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I'm speechless after watching what I saw. I'm a party freak, and we support. If you're a Yoruba person, you understand what it means. Ashebi, you know, tiwa, you know, you want to support your friends, you want to support family. But right now, things are changing. Normally, those days, they used to use laces to do Ashebi. But now people have switched to Ankara, because situation in the country is kind of tight, and there's no money. So you just have to find a way around it to try to adapt to the situations in the country. So for me to say that you have to spend that much for Ashebi, and after spending that much, you now find out you don't have money to pay your bills, you don't have money to eat, you don't look, for me, there are certain things when you say they're your needs, you have to differentiate from your needs and your wants. Ashebi, for now, I think we have to cut it out of our normal life and choose colors.
It's actually a want.
Like what she said, you know, cutting from, going from laces, because lace is very expensive, depending on the quality you want. So Ankara is very trendy. You know,
look at the beautiful Ankara you have.
You can design and do a lot with it, and it's less expensive. Yes. She just talked about buying the clothes with 50,000. She's going to make it. She's going to take it to a seamstress, and that's another price. So we're looking at like maybe roughly 80,000 for Ashebi that you... most times when we do Ashebi, we don't wear it the second time.
No, we don't.
Because you don't want to...
Because everybody knows what that this is Ashebi.
Exactly.
You know, so people just say, after they wear it for that event, I cannot wear it because they will know that it's Ashebi. So, and this Ashebi, as we're saying, we have not talked of makeup. Yeah. We've not talked of the gele stuff. So, and let's see, shoes, bags, accessories.
And again, we should also look in this aspect. Maybe the parents are helping. You never can tell. There are some students that, you know, their parents are, you know, well enough.
Not all parents.
I said some.
Because most parents even don't buy their Ashebis. They tend to choose colors.
The thing is, I have grown-up children, you know, and I don't think I've ever given any of them money for Ashebi. I haven't. Because like you said, I am not even one. If your Ashebi is beyond that Ankara 3,000, 5,000. I am not game.
No.
I will ask you, please, do you want me to go and carry my children's school fees to pay? I mean, I understand the meaning of Ashebi. Ashebi is uniform, isn't it?
Yes.
So if I wear red,
yes,
and I ask my people to wear red all through, what's the beauty of it is on a camera or somebody who walks into the hall, that uniformity makes it beautiful. It makes it, when you begin to put price, and there are sometimes I hear people tell me I have a Ashebi of 50K, there's one of 30K, there's one of depends on your class. I say, please, you have one for 5,000 because that's my class. I am a civil servant. I cannot go and steal. So if people have to attend weddings and all of that, like colleagues, their younger colleagues who are getting married, so will I tell them, look, Fatima got married last month. Yes. So we cannot have another wedding this month because I've spent the Ashebi money. Nope. Yeah, the more the merrier, but then let's cut down the price. But moving away from Ashebi, okay, just before we go, there was something else I heard there. Somebody said, I would rather not attend the wedding.
I was going to say that, yes. Yes, I'm one of those, I'm going to be very honest right now. Something happened some weeks ago, and it was pertaining to Ashebi. But very strange, the Ashebi was 7,000 naira. I felt very pained that they gave me an invite without the Ashebi. Not because I just felt that it's not that expensive for you not to tell me. So if you can give me an invite and you cannot give me the Ashebi, that means for me, we're not family.
Was this person family?
No, it's not family. This person, we've been friends forever from school. Mm-hmm. So I just felt that why would I be sitting in a gathering? You have 100 people there. I'll be singled out with no Ashebi. So I rather took that option not to attend.
Or maybe she thought the 7,000 was too cheap for you.
No, because most of the people who were in that event are very rich. So if you can give me an invite. No, the thing is that they forgot. So I'm taking it that Ashebi it's we family, friends and all that. So if you think I'm not good enough for Ashebi, then I'm not good enough for an invite.
You know,
that's my
take. Or maybe it was oversubscribed. That's another thing.
Yes, it could have finished.
It wasn't oversubscribed. You know, let's not go there. I'm just using myself as an example because most of the time it's better you use yourself as an example. If you don't give me the Ashebi, I will not attend. And most people now have decided.
And then if the Ashebi is too expensive.
No, you see, most of the time, if we're friends, we tend to talk and say, look, this is the advice. So if you do this Ashebi, this amount. So guess what the friends do? They tend to take gele. They tend to take gele and then choose a color. So, and I think it's better because I will not stretch myself buying an Ashebi. Then when I get home, I'm in pains and I'm in tears. How do I foot my next bill? How do I eat my next meal? So I think we just have to be real and get serious with real life.
Well, I practically decided not to do Ashebi any longer. It was getting too much and, a lot of expenses. And apart from doing Ashebi, you have to make the clothes. In the United States, we don't have much good tailors. Most of my tailors, if not all of them, are in Nigeria. Okay. Having to send the clothes back, or you have no choice but make it in the United States.
Exchange rate.
You don't get what you want in whatever is made. And even the tailor want to fight you as in you're complaining and all that. And the expenses and all that, I just decided, there was no need to do Ashebi anymore. So what I do is, you want me to support you, I could use the money to support you.
Definitely.
Because I'm going to wear that Ashebi just once. You won't see it on me anymore.
No,
but if you have the gele, and I have to attend that party, I can get the gele and support you with as much as I can for your party. But to have going through the trouble of looking for a tailor, making clothes, doing all that, it's too much, apart from even the price.
Very importantly so. But for me, I kind of differ from you. I don't like to be, blend in the crowd. I like to stand out. So if you don't give me the ashebe, all the more reason why I will attend, so I can get to wear what I have.
Different strokes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
different strokes.
And a lot of time you give me your ashebe, I buy it, I forget to sew it. So that day I turn up with whatever I have and put your ashebe on my shoulder. Now,
we're different. We're different.
Okay, so but we have a very young person here. Let's see, have you?
But I've noticed nowadays that most weddings are not really doing the ashwebi thing. Okay, there's the ashwebi, but then there's also colors. For people who do not want to buy the ashwebi, so there's the color of the day. You can actually wear the color of the day. I feel as if that's a better option for people, even monetary-wise. Like, you can go to your wardrobe and actually check for ashwebi. Exactly. The student saying 50,000 for ashwebi is actually, I know what 50,000 can do in my life.
I like that. Yeah, it's good to be real.
I know what 50,000 can do in my life. Carrying 50,000 to go and buy ashwebi for a wedding is not realistic to me.
Even for a working class.
Even for unless you're anyway.
Working class.
It depends on the relationship you have with whoever is wedding. It depends on the relationship you have.
I didn't
for families and all that.
I didn't go for a very good.
Because
I have a very close friend. I have a very sorry for butting in. I have a very close friend who had a wedding recently, I think 2 weeks. I think she's not talking to me right now, and I'm sure she's watching. She said 40,000 naira, and I said, if I buy a ashwebi 40,000 naira. What even annoyed me is that I didn't think the ashwebi was worth that price. One, I think people tend to make too much money from ashwebi, telling you they're going to give you gifts after. And when you see the gift, they're just like rubber plastic plates and all that. So for me, I just felt that, one, it wasn't worth the price, and I wasn't going to spend that kind of money now because I have other expenses. I will not do that. I cannot make somebody else rich and make myself cry afterwards just to please somebody else. So I opted out.
For, maybe last bit on the ashwebi issue, I remember when I got married, I had ashwebi, I had bridesmaids, but incidentally, all of them, I made the clothes for them free of charge. I only grew up, to find out that people need to pay for those things. To even be in somebody's wedding as a bridal train, you pay for it. Yeah. I had bridal shower, bachelor's night, and all that. Every single clothes my friends wore.
You paid for it?
I paid for it. All they needed to do was go to the tailor and give their measurements. That was the way it was done in our place. Okay, but ashwebi is not the only thing that bites into the economy of a family. Like I mentioned, I try to go through the, stories, headlines. There's a whole lot going on about scarcity of food, hunger, which is, like you mentioned, leading to a lot of people doing funny things on the road, stealing and all that. How do we begin, to cut down in the family? How do we begin to cut down our expenditure to be able to cope with, things for now?
It's all about choice. It's all about choice and also knowing what you feel. And again, how much you have. You have to weigh your pocket and all that. With the situation in the country, I believe a lot of people are already cutting down because being in the system, this moment that I'm here, I see a lot of things going on. The environment is hostile, and people are actually trying to look at what they have to be able to make ends meet. So people are not exorbitant anymore. People are not, except for the families that know how they get their money somehow and all that. But the average Nigerian, people are, people, that's what I see coming in the system. I see that things are changing, except for families that they are well-to-do, business is really thriving for them. Even in the United States, a lot of us are even cutting down because with this pandemic, businesses are affected, homes are affected, jobs are affected. A lot of millions lost their jobs, So it's not just happening only in Nigeria, but being, with the situation we're facing with insecurity, high unemployment, people are actually, trying to work the way they need to work to make ends meet.
I'll butt in now. What you just said, I always use myself as an example.
I like that.
I like to eat native chicken. Native chicken. I don't like the other frozen ones.
It's hard.
No, native.
Native is hard.
No, it's not hard. Native chicken.
That's the one that has done a lot of marathon trekking and all
native,
that.
they're different. You have broilers and all that. Native chicken is very soft. If you don't know how to cook it, by the time you go and
but
come
it doesn't
back,
have
everything.
a lot of flesh now.
Yeah, but
it watches weight.
That's it. so you see, you have to look at your size, and you have to find out. Look, you shouldn't be bigger than you are. Health-wise, you have to come down. So, and I noticed that the man that normally sells my chicken now says the chicken I used to buy for 3,000 is 5,500. Okay, let's cut the parts of the chicken. If I have to take 2 pieces in the chicken, what's left in the soup? So I just decided, you know what? Go and buy pala fish. I like coca. I stopped.
You like coca?
I like coca fish.
Okay, coca fish.
Coca fish. So now
coca is expensive too.
That's it. So you see,
you've gone to Titus.
No, I don't do Titus. I do pala fish. So you see, the thing here is that you have to make a choice.
Definitely.
The thing here is that you have to eat. Some people eat 3 times a day. I have reduced the visitors who visit me now because they don't know. You see, if you give them 1 piece of meat, they're asking for 2 pieces and all that. And it's, look, I'm not going to pretend. Things are difficult. Electricity is high.
Definitely.
We've stopped using AC. We just pick the times.
The weather is actually cold.
Whether it's cold or it's not cold, you just have, because some people would rather stick in there. For us, we're having hot flushes now, so we need the AC. But you know what? I buy the fan, and I put the fan there. It's not going to kill me, because the thing here is that things are difficult. Definitely. All aspects of normal life is difficult, so you have to make a choice how to survive, and that's what we're doing right now.
You know, another thing that bothers me is waste. Like you mentioned, I try to do a bit of a indoor gardening myself. You know, I like to eat fresh.
Yeah.
You know, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. So the much I can do within the balcony, I had to cut a drum into 2. You know, put sand. Most of those ogo, you know, spinach, you know,
tomatoes, the small tomatoes, cucumber.
Grow them yourselves?
Yes,
wow,
right there.
Most homes in Nigeria do that now.
you get to pluck them, and it's easier.
Yes.
It stuff like okra and spinach combined together, it fills you up, you know. So I achieve saving costs. I also achieve, eating healthier. But what bothers me is waste. A lot of times, people do not, especially young people. I want to go back to you. I wish I had all the young people in Nigeria sitting in here so I can ask them one by one. They do not understand. They open cornflakes and they pour. And then they forget that air could get into it. They just dump it there. Then tomorrow they say, this cornflakes is tasting somehow.
Eat it again.
You know? And then you go away. That cornflakes gets to your dustbin. Exactly. I think parents should all make their children work for what they do. You know, for everything. Not like very hard work. If you spoil something, you know, you should be able to be accountable. I was telling you something behind camera. My kids know. For everything you spoil, we have a bargain. We have a bargain, yes. So if your weekly allowance is 1 naira, I'm going to cut into it for 3 times, 4 times to repair the thing you spoiled. So apart from the fact that you're learning not to spoil things, you're also learning to be responsible. You know, to meet up tomorrow. Going back, how can we begin to salvage that? You know, the training of the children to ensure they keep up with the times.
People wait for teachers to train their kids. And
teachers in school.
Teachers in school. They don't have that kind of time. Parents have, I don't know, they've forgotten their place in society. Because when I was growing up, one thing my mom always used to do, they never used to give me meat or water. They give me the meal first. Then when I finish the meal, that's when the meat comes.
Why will you eat meat? Are you a thief?
No, because
meat is
because I noticed
you eat the food first. No, meat is compensation for eating the food.
I had some friends who will eat the meat and then leave the food. And you see, the thing here is that
even egg comes after.
No, but that's it. But I see many parents these days. they put all the stuff on the table. For me, it's waste. You should be able to know what's in a table or what's supposed to be in a plate for kids. Because you see what happens is that I didn't used to have water, I didn't used to have meat. And they always used to tell me, anything you take, you must finish. The wastage, when I go to places and I eat, especially parties, and I see what people take, you are taking swallow. You are taking rice with the swallow. And I just can't comprehend.
You're overworking the system.
So that's it. So I think we have seen too much. We've gotten too much. And we don't know the difference with waste and no wastage. So right now, they don't have to tell you. Anything, and I think now you have to give portions. That's why I always tell people when you go to parties, don't let people serve you. You serve.
Yourself.
Yes, you serve. Because if you have to, that's why they use those scoopy things to scoop. So, and I think that some people just want to be bloated and too full. So you have to teach your children from the house that wastage is a no-no.
Okay. So,
yeah, so in regards to wastage, yeah, children, they are used to it, and I agree that we as parents, we need to, buckle them up and, but in regards to, having to put the protein or the meat back before our generation, that's our generation. That's all. It doesn't even happen in my own. Maybe our great-grandparents' generation. We should not bring this is modern life. Things are
21st
changing.
century.
Actually, the children are the one who needs the protein. But we still eat meat. Like I'm Nigerian now. Oh my God, I'm looking for ram and chicken and all that. We don't really need it. So, but it's still good. It's a bodybuilding element and all that. But I don't agree that you have to just strip the children and give them later. But then again, I agree with the portioning. Okay. And I agree that you have to teach them not to waste food. And if they do, you have to caution them and all that. But I don't think those things are being taught in school because it's academics that we teach in school. But any parents who are waiting for their children to be taught on how to behave at home in school, there's going to be
something coming.
That's a big problem on its own. But wastage, we need to curb our children and train them aright.
Let's hear from Tracy. Tracy, how do you help? Your mommy is watching you, so don't lie. How do you help to ensure that there's no wastage at home?
At home, it's my mom that takes care of that one. She calls you to the kitchen when she calls everybody, including my brother. She'll dish the food and ask you if it's okay for you. If it's okay, no problem, take your food. If you can't finish it, you're in trouble. Because she's the one that told you that you said that it's okay for you. So why are you saying that you cannot finish it? She'll force you to finish that food.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because you have to finish it. You said it's okay for you. You keep it and come back and come
do that.
Yeah.
There was a time I said I will feed you.
No, but some other parents, you know what they do? You eat it later.
Yeah, that's another one.
You eat it later.
You cover it up. If my kids covered the food up, forget that food.
Wow, it's crazy because for me, I still think children
are children.
Overfeeding them is not good. So maybe we'll find a way of ensuring that they take a little at a time, like she said. And generally, I tell women, because of hard times and also because of proper feeding, almost everything we eat, we can cook halfway. Instead of making that jollof rice all through, I prefer to make my rice white, then get a little and make jollof out of it.
Yeah.
Then when it's finished, it's easier for me to still take more and make a little bit out of it again as jollof. When it comes to soup, I make the stock, like over the weekend, I make all the stock for goat meat, for okra, for whatever, but I don't add anything fresh. So that way, I bring out one. I have eaten something fresh. I just give it to the children, and myself we eat. Then, if it's not, if I didn't put everything, it's easier for me to preserve as well. Because if you put all the vegetables, the okra, the ugu, and all that, somebody like me, if you cook it today, if I try and eat tomorrow, I will not eat it the third day. If I try. So that means it's going to waste.
So that comes to preservation too.
Yes.
You know, in our society where we know our power system is different. So I know, I'll be talking differently because I really do not have that time to cook white rice. Tomorrow I want to make it to jollof rice. You know, I don't have. They may not even see me. Even if these days I work from home, it's very busy. You know, so I just cook, portion, put in the freezers. You know, so but our society, because of the light system, the power system, and all that, it's difficult because the wastage will continue. You know, when you cook a big portion, and you can preserve it. You know, you cannot refrigerate it. Then that's a big
but
problem.
do your kids?
Do
your kids eat the same thing?
You know, that's another thing people do and waste food. For me in the house, every single food cooked, everybody must eat it.
Yes.
You know, I've seen a situation where
nobody has time to be
somebody
cooking
told me,
this
person doesn't eat macaroni, this person doesn't eat. So for every day, she cooks like 3 to 4 different things. It's a waste.
No, but that's why.
That's waste.
That's why most of the time now, what the kids tend to do, they do Indomie.
No, who is going to give Indomie?
No, I don't understand. Why do we just love this Indomie in
No,
Nigeria?
it's Nigeria's Indomie.
Noodles,
I can handle Indomie. I can stand it. I can't even stand everything about Indomie. But I just realized that most kids, they said it's a fast way of eating.
Not even only kids.
Oh,
I see that proper food now for adults.
So that they tell you that it's healthy. They put green peas.
It's not healthy.
They put carrots and all that.
A lot of processing.
Yeah. But
you
see, like my own house, it's like different kids from different tribes and different families. One is Igbo, one is Igala, one is this. So I noticed that even when I was with my auntie, I hated megiri. I hated bean soup. So that day, I always say I'm fasting. and I always tell people, if you go to somebody's house and you're given something and you can't eat, don't say you can't eat it. And that's what I did all those years, and I didn't die. I always said I was fasting. You understand? Yes. But now this one will say, no, you know we are not this tribe. This is what I want to eat. Okay. I am not this tribe. So will I sit down and look at my family and not give them these meals?
No,
but there's a common meal for Nigerians.
Apart from that, I actually think that
they should learn to eat it. Well, maybe you have the time.
I have the time, and the thing here is that I teach them to cook those meals. So if I'm not cooking, and you can eat what I'm eating, then you cook your own meal.
It works for you, but it's pretty expensive.
It's pretty expensive
because I would rather, when I'm going to drop the menu, I'm not going to drop menu and say rice, yam. Maybe on a Monday, if there's Igbo, there I write Igbo. On Tuesday, I write Igala. On Wednesday, I'll write Hausa. On Friday, so on a Monday, all the Igbo foods,
everyone is happy.
All of us get to eat it. Because the truth is, your environment has a lot of people.
So you're the problem.
So she's actually the problem.
You're the problem. So there's diversity in your house, and you're creating separation.
Okay, so somebody is writing us here. Let's quickly say, wow. I also understand that it's very well that, yes, the economy is hard now, and it's important for us to cut down on spending, especially me that don't have a financial, the message is not quite clear, but I hope you will be able to write back again and let's understand what you said.
She doesn't have
clearly.
She doesn't have fun.
I think so. That's probably what she means. The more questions
business is not thriving, and
it's not easy.
Financially she's not there. She's not capable.
Okay. Good morning, Mas. My name is Nwakudo. I like your program, especially this particular one. But please, you are hiding. That's my young friend there. Make her visible. Please, Tracy, they want to see you. I'll make her talk. Okay, Vitalis, don't worry. Tracy is going to talk to you real soon. As for me, I can't spend much on Ashebi because I can't displease myself with the way our economy is just to trend. But because of trend, some people go extreme on Ashwebi. That's Duzi Noti from Abuja. Thank you for writing in. But let's have a Tracy talk to Vitalis. He says, I'm hiding you. You're not even sitting close to me. It's okay. So I'd like to know, what are the ways you think young people can begin to, preserve and save costs, especially those of you in school? What do you do? I know before you could buy a lot of things. How do you save costs as a student?
As a student, it's not actually easy to save costs because little things come here and there.
It's not easy to save costs.
It's not easy because
as a student,
little things come. Before you know it, you have spent money here. Before you know it, you have to pay for this one.
Yeah.
Actually, before you know it, you have to pay for this one, and then you're in school, you're hot. Okay, you buy this Coke, you buy that one. You withdraw 1,000, 2,000 before the end of the week. You don't know what you have spent the money on really.
Okay, wait. You go to ATM and carry 1,000.
That is what most
on the
students actually. Most students.
It depends on. There's some people that are very conservative. I was a spender. I have to buy everything that I need. Thank God for the provision. There are some people that happy with what they have. All they just wanted is this education, to prepare them where they need to go.
True.
They just have to live that's the way it is.
Tracy,
and there's some people from rich home. I'm sorry. There's some people from rich home that knows how to mine. Yes, they really know how to conduct. They will even come to you to help you finish yours.
Are you serious?
So it's different folks and different
oh my
folks.
God.
Yeah. But there are students that are spenders. Everything has to be in the room. I did that.
For some students, what pushed them into unnecessary spending? I didn't say the type you're
peer
talking
pressure.
about unnecessary. It's peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Do you experience that in school? I mean, they'll tell somebody, I was minding my business. Somebody actually called me on the phone, to say, I was in ABCD place and I saw this jewelry and this jewelry reminded me of you and I bought it. I said, really? You're giving me gifts? It's not my birthday, but anyway, I'm always a day older. I can take it. He said, no, it's not a gift though. I bought it so you can buy. I said, wait, you're buying gift from me, a gift. You're buying me something that I need to pay for. Are you crazy? Yes. I didn't put it in budget, so I'm not going to take it. So it happens. It's peer pressure. Maybe because I've grown past peer. I don't know. Does it happen to you?
It actually happens because sometimes, like I stay off campus and I stay in a compound, and then somebody can come sometimes. I'm like, okay, my friend brought this, my friend brought that. I saw this thing, this might fit you. Then you go and check the things out. Before you know it, money that you didn't plan to spend, you have spent it on buying that thing because, you have to support your friend or something like that.
Yeah.
So that actually happens, and it happens quite a lot to a lot of people.
All right, and if you decide not to really follow the trend, does it make you, Tracy, feel left out?
No, not really. It doesn't make me feel left out because I know that, it's not only me in school, it's my brother and I.
Oh, okay.
So I also have to watch out for him, take care of him. I have to, think that,
Is he younger than you?
Yes, he's younger than me. So I have to think that, I have to buy this and this so that I can cook so that he can eat. So sometimes I have to weigh things and I don't have to be disturbing my parents all the time for money. They have already given me this particular money. Going back to meet them for money, it's not actually fair. So sometimes you just need to think and calm down. You cannot do this at this particular moment. It's not worth it.
And you see, this peer pressure actually leads some students, like she described, who they just want to do because my friend is doing, my neighbor is doing. That's what leads to prostitution in school. Let's just say it the way it is. That's what leads to prostitution. Those days in school, they will say they are going for runs. Because students, they must
runs.
You're
supposed to be jogging now.
That's a slum. When we went to school, they call it runs. They must wear a certain gold. They must wear, And this happened in all classes. Yes. Both rich children. I've seen rich children.
No, it's mostly rich children.
Do some crazy things. But thank God for her. She's able to think and okay, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. But
most of the time, you see, the funny thing about peer pressure, it's not even only about students anymore.
It happens
in all spheres of life. I don't know your parents, but it's obvious that they did a lot of work.
They did a good job.
When I was in school, I couldn't take something my parents didn't give me.
Yes.
You see, they check what you bring when you come back from school. it beats me now that you go back home and you're giving your parents gifts
as a student.
As a student, and they're not asking you what did you do? How did you afford to get this? My father had a milestone age after I was working. I gave my father a gift and he told me to sit down. How much do you earn that you bought me this gift? I was shocked. I was working. And these days I see people who don't have money. The parents expect them to come pay rent. The parents expect them to buy, to feed them, to train other kids in school, and they don't ask questions. So the problem now is that 80% of the problem we're having is parents are the ones pushing their kids
most of them
in this situation, which is very, 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 very sad.
The influence situation, when I was in the university, there's a girl in my hostel. She was actually disowned by both parents because she refused to go to Italy.
Okay.
She was disowned by...
They got her tickets?
I don't know what they wanted, but they just wanted her to travel abroad to go make money.
Yeah, because other kids were doing it for their parents.
She was disowned by both parents. She refused to go.
So peer pressure, it's a big thing. It's
most
sad.
parents, some parents are influencers of this. Pushing the children out there.
And that's where the problem is. And most kids sponsor themselves in school.
But I feel sometimes it's not only the parents that are influencing. Sometimes it's not even people that are pressuring you.
It's just you.
There are people that I feel as if parents and people in society do not acknowledge people that have low self-esteem. They can just see that this person has something and they don't have it, and it will actually really bring them down to the point that they'll go and do something that on a normal day or because of their home training they won't usually do. They don't, parents, I feel as if sometimes parents and other people in society do not see or help people with low self-esteem.
Beautiful.
That's a great addition.
That's a very good addition.
That's a good one. Let's interact with the audience a little bit more. Good morning, ladies in the house. The present hard economic realities in the country today demand that we adjust our consumption patterns in order to cope and survive. Hence, one is not supposed to be pretentious. To this end, Ashwebi should not be seen as a must, since there are other better options available. Thank you all for the wonderful program. Samuel from Benue State, thank you very much. Let's quickly see. Good morning, Mars. My name is Ehin Modu Favor. You all look gorgeous. As for me, I can't spend more than 2K for Ashwebi. Thumbs up. That's my colleague. Even when the economic crisis was not like this, I beg you. Very correct.
So how much do you sew it then?
Okay. Honestly,
I know. That's as if you pay 2,000, then you. Because there's no tailor sewing for less than 10,000 or so.
Okay, so
except you go to some village to go and make the clothes.
You look funny.
Good morning, Ma. I'm Chidera. I love this show. My question is, how do we young children abscond from the following trending things? Okay. Let me let Tracy talk to her colleague. So she's just asking, when things are happening around, how do we say no to it? Let's see. Your advice to her before the elders come in.
Saying no, actually, I believe is your personal choice. You have to put what is important to you. Like, that is the whole thing. The whole thing about trending things and all these things that are flashing now is that they come and they go. So you have to think about what is really important at this. Okay, your education, making sure that, okay, would this actually benefit you in like 5 years, 7 years, like in the future? It's just for you to think and actually make a decision for yourself.
Awesome. That's a futuristic thing. That's great. And that's a child that we go for.
Yeah.
Because at this stage, she already knows this thing. And I agree 100% with that. It's about choice. It's about the person. You can decide to blend, you can decide not to. And nobody's going to fight you. Nobody's going to, it gets to an extent, people will be like, okay, I think I should even be thinking like, my friend, she's not even killing herself, trying, wasting her time, wasting energy, trying to be like other people. she's comfortable in her own.
Yeah, but I always tell people you can droop with all the diamonds you want to droop with, but the bottom line here is that I'm going to wear my costume. The problem is,
beautiful.
And you look beautiful. You see, the thing here is that you have to look at yourself and say, you can't be the other person.
No, we're all unique.
And you know the thing that makes me laugh is that the people drooping with diamonds see you and they're envious of you.
That's true.
So I always tell people things that I cannot get second-hand value for. I really don't dabble into it. So if I have if I have money, sometimes I'd rather do jewelry, so that when I get broke,
you can sell it.
I can sell. Maybe if I'm talking about the much older people now, like if you see where they're selling land, it appreciates. So you see, you have to, and I think that we should have places where we can teach kids in school what you have to see, what you will get when you leave school. You know, this going to school and everything is book. We have to do real life. And teach them. You see, because knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. What you don't know, you can't even give. You can't even advise. Because most parents don't even know these things.
Definitely.
So if they don't know them, how do they teach their children?
Yeah, talking about teaching children, I think from what Tracy said, it's important for us to build self-esteem in our children. And it starts from the day one that person was born. You don't wait until the person is in the university. You don't wait until the person is big. Start from small. So make your child understand that he or she is unique. He or she is the best thing that happened to Mother Earth. You know, he or she has something to offer to the world.
Beautiful.
You know, if you make someone feels that way, the day the person goes out there, buys a weave-on for, 2,000 naira, she will wear it with her shoulders high. And, be in line with people who are wearing bone straight and bone crooked. You know, so at the end of the day, is anyone crooked?
No, but
So, but the truth is, whatever you are, you can wear all manner of things, and you still don't feel good enough. That's when you begin to aspire for more.
No, those people never get satisfied.
You know, they never get satisfied.
No, but you know what she said? You know what she said about growing up for me was very difficult because I was a plus size and I was top heavy. And you know what they tell you when we were growing up, oh, you're a naughty child, you will never amount to anything. And it got to me. So they had to work on my self-esteem. It was very important. I noticed that I never used to go out. I was feeling timid. But here was a mother who noticed I had a problem. And you know what she always used to say? You are wonderfully made. Awesome. You're beautiful the way you are. So, so growing up, I am so super confident right now that I tell people that a plus size is beautiful. Just knows what fits you. And it works for you.
Even God himself, who created us, he likes balanced diets. That's why he didn't make everybody the same size. Some are pala, some are
but some
horrible,
people, it gets to so many people.
You don't we should be able to make our children feel confident at any point in time. That's when they'll be able to say no.
Parents have a lot of work. Parents have a lot of work to do.
If at the end of the day your child does something good, you come in where you tried, that's not good enough. If a child used to come first and the day she comes second and you notice she's sad, tell the child, you did well, but I know it could have been better. Something could have happened. Don't worry, there is always another day.
Don't beat the child.
And don't go screaming. But there are some people, I actually got caned for coming third in class. That was a drop. They caned me. And
I tell my children there's no B is not good enough.
Okay.
B is not good.
So it's not good enough.
But did you have an A?
All parents had A.
Well, no, I don't have to have an A for them to have an A. Okay, I don't have, because I want them to be better than I am.
Yes, I know.
But you put the good thing is that you put all the measures that can help them to succeed.
Parents put too much pressure on kids.
No, it's not. No, I don't see it as pressure.
They do.
It's because someone in class is having A and A plus, and thank God they are good. They are good kids. They are good. They are
every kid has to be. Every kid has to be a doctor.
Fine.
Every kid has to be.
No.
Discover your child's strengths, and let them, go for it.
That's
my
course.
parents wanted me to go into medicine.
No, I
was passing my sciences. They never knew that I was just passing because I didn't want to be caned. Okay. So when it came to choosing something, we had to go on negotiation table. Luckily, I am positively stubborn, so I insisted on what I wanted. I like to talk, and I said I needed to do a job that I can talk. So, and that's how it is. Let's see, before my friends out there, start hating us. Good morning, my name is Alphonsus Joshua. The issue is that things are really hard, and lack of proper management is another problem that is affecting our economics. People should know how to manage what they have wisely in order to survive for tomorrow. Thank you, that's good advice. All these messages, how am I going to take? Let's try. Okay, greetings to you all. You're all good home managers. Thumbs up to us. God will bless you for saying the truth. God's power. Okay, from Bayelsa State. Thank you so much, God's power. And spending more than 5K for Ashebi is not advisable for a lady that has kids to take care of. Very true. Benedict Chika, that's your name. 5K is still too much. We're all the same.
There is no Ankara that's even 1K. Okay. So that means we should stop Ashebi.
If you don't plan well, you will get wrong. You get it wrong. Sewing different Ashebi for what? Unless one is attending a beauty pageant, is not worth it. Okay.
That must be bad.
Okay. Let's take this last one. All right. Good morning, Ma. Well, I'm a student too, and I don't always like to be caught up in trends, so such things do not bother me. That's a good kid too. He didn't write your name. Would have liked to celebrate you. Let's quickly take one more before my director cuts my neck. Good morning.